Good evening, everyone. It's been a little bit since I've done another one of these video clips, but it is another in point with Dorin Anghelescu. It has been a really hard week and a half, and this is why I have not been on the internet with more. Work has just become very stressful, and over the last week, being a refrigeration mechanic, everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and it has just been rather loaded with stress and drama. Like life is not enough stress and drama anyway as it is. Correct? Da. Okay. Is Ted Cruz, who once again came to a point in a highlight that I saw in another news article, the Facebook, where he is praising an older couple for not or for refusing to serve gay people in their business. And Ted Cruz, Republican candidate for the GOP for President of the United States, is praising them for it. It is interesting that it comes on a time when I was over at a friend's house tonight, my friend Craig, and we start to watch movie Gladiator. The reason I came home early before the finish of the end of the film is because my roommate, who is working, gets off at 9. He really wants to have dinner when he gets home, so I'm going to cook and make him something to eat. But the whole movie in the Gladiator was when the Caesar of Rome is talking to Maximilius, and he wants him to lead Rome out of the depression that it is in. He has been a great warrior, he has been a great general, and he has not been home for over 3 years. They think that they are all fighting for the glory of Rome. But the truth is that Rome is an empire that cannot sustain itself because it is getting bogged down by its own politics. America, she is a nation being bogged down by her own politics. She will fall, just like Rome. But it will not be because of the Supreme Court legalizing gay marriage. And it will not be because of what people see as liberals who do not even want to earn their way through life. This is a load of garbage, and it is a distractive tactic by the far right to get us to fight amongst each other. America is dying and suffocating on her own politics. And it is people like Glenn Beck, Jeb Bush, Mike Huckabee, and now, of course, we have an unlimited amount of runs for the presidential candidate. But the worst thing that this country could ever do, the absolute worst this could ever do, would be to elect someone like Ted Cruz to the President of the United States. When you can actually praise people for turning on their fellow human beings, this is exactly what Hitler did in Nazi Germany. Nazism is a right-wing fascism, not a left-wing ideology. And for the right who wants to blame liberals for everything, if you think that liberals want to sit there and suck up resources without having to work for whatever it is that they've got, then you are about as stupid and misled as the right. Okay? A liberal person is not one like conservatives who say, oh, as long as this bad thing isn't happening to me, I don't care. Okay? A liberal is the person who maybe goes sometimes a bit too far to the other side, but they're the ones that say, as long as this bad thing is happening to anyone, even though it has not happened to me yet, I care enough to be forced to care. I will take the latter over the former. I am not necessarily liberal myself. Maybe I am socially liberal and I would like to think of myself as being about money and resources, moderate. Be careful about what we to spend. Okay? America is suffering and having the life sucked out of her by her own politics. America is not going to fail because gay marriage passed the Supreme Court. It is not going to fail because liberals have become outspoken. It is not going to fail because it is going to fall into the hands of socialism. Excuse me, for all those predictions, no one is being rounded up yet and put into FEMA camps. Okay, all you pistol-packing gun nuts who are willing to go out and parade in front of a military recruiting center, but maybe very few of you are actually willing to go out and fight in a war, okay, you could possibly be the one to bring it down. Okay, not things like affirmative action. Okay, do you want to know what affirmative action is? Someone put this once relate to the last president of the United States. Affirmative action is being a baby born with a silver spoon in your mouth, who has never had to work a day in their life, who has been gifted into money, who jumped into politics while avoiding any military service whatsoever, where their life was risked for freedom and for the country and for the very people they claim that they are fighting for now, who managed to go ahead and snort whatever drugs and drink their way through a fabulous university and then wind up in the chair of the Oval Office because it's where your daddy had been. Okay, that is affirmative action. Not because people at the bottom are trying to get to the top and people at the top want to make sure that they are the only ones there and will stay there. God help your nation. It may take an event like Gladiators to save America from the suffocation of her politics. And I hope I am wrong. But it was going to take the average person who's going to be willing to fight for it to get it back. Don't expect your Republican politicians to help you. Okay, they are all out for themselves. Democrats, a lot of times you talk a good game, but I would really like to see it come to some sort of action. It seems like when you get people into Washington, D.C., they cave to whatever is going to make their wallet fatter. The point is that this is not working any longer. If things do not change in 40 years from now, you will have 36%, more than 1/3 of the income generated by the gross national product of the country, that is only going to go to the top 2% of the people. And you are going to have whatever is left, less than 10% of all the income that is left generated by gross national product being fought over by everybody else. This is not sustainable. A society that cannot peacefully protest will erupt so violently. I hope to God and I pray it does not happen. But when I see some idiot like Ted Cruz praising a couple because they refused to service gay people in their business, all I can say is welcome to Nazi Germany 1933. There is no good reason ever to elect someone like Ted Cruz to office. I cannot think of a single reason to elect any Republican now to office, period. Done with it. God help your nation. God help your country. And God help your people. You have an important election coming up in 2016. I am eligible to vote and I will vote. Hopefully we can take it back with just a vote before it totally falls apart. Because when you have your Republicans who are cutting hundreds of millions from education, but they are willing to throw hundreds of millions behind the rich people with taxpayer dollars to support a sports stadium, and people are supporting this, it is because they have lost the ability to think for themselves. They have lost the ability to question authority. they have lost the ability to justify and rationally think about what they are doing, because they are not smart enough to figure it out. Hopefully people will figure it out before it's too late. Dumnezeu să binecuvânteze tuturor. God bless all. And to all, o seară frumoasă să aveți. Beautiful evening for you to have. Thank you for this rant. Please do not forget to follow me on YouTube and follow me on Facebook. And as always, I encourage interaction. If there's any way that anyone can think of that we can take our faith back from the right, even if you are an atheist, it helps to know how the right thinks, because when you understand where they are coming from, you understand what we need to fight against. You understand where we need to go. You understand what we need to do to save the country from the grips of the right. You will understand that there is a good reason we do not want to see signs that say white trade only. No gays allowed. No colored allowed. Mexicans need not apply. You tell me, is this what you're after? Is this what you want to repeat? Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Maybe you should just go ahead and put the warning signs up in front of your business now if there are people you don't want to serve. At least it would let us know where to shop. And maybe people might remember what it actually felt like and it looked like in this country watching from a distance in World War II while Europe disintegrated, because there was some country with some nut leader from the far extreme right extreme, Adolf Hitler, who thought that it was perfectly okay to have signs up in front of different businesses. Achtung, Juden verboten. And then think about that for a minute and see if you want to repeat it. When your country has a bigger problem seeing two men holding hands than they do holding guns, you have some serious soul searching to do. When your country has a problem thinking that gay marriage is going to be the big evil that brings down your nation, but you're willing to proceed along the same path that wound up with hundreds of thousands of people rounded up, put on trains, and gassed to death, and you cannot see the connection to where you are going, you have some serious soul searching to do. When you have people like Dylan Roof, who are created by the far-right extremist agenda and taught how to hate, and they are willing to walk into a black church where they were welcomed, where he was welcomed with open arms, sit down, pray with us, get to know us, join us for Sunday school, maybe have something to eat and drink. And he repays their kindness by executing 9 of them at the barrel of a gun. And you have your Ku Klux Klan who says we need 10,000 more like him, and they all identify as Christian Republicans. You have some serious soul searching to do. Okay, I'm done for now. Thank you for listening. And God bless all. And good night. And one of these days, I will actually come up with a camera instead of iPhone 5. But iPhone 5 makes very good video. Yes? You think? Okay. Enjoy your night.